Good morning. It was a very mild night last night.
Yeah, the wind went off and it was really nice. It was hot. I was outside the sleeping bag, both of us were.
Yeah.
It was just too warm.
Which is...
I think when I looked on the weather after, it was like 16.
And that was at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something stupid. Which is great for having your morning coffee. Not so great for having to climb up these hills later.
Suntan lotion's coming on. The new hat's on.
Yeah, he's got
it covers the neck a bit more. Top of my ears are starting to get bent.
Yeah.
You put it on, but yeah. So, new hat.
We're trying to be a bit calmer about the fact that we are hiking in a desert today.
Yeah. I think... Hello, B. I think we were pushing ourselves to try and get to somewhere, and it was... We shouldn't be doing that. We should be saying, oh yeah, it's nice. Oh, yeah. We'll just camp up early because we're tired.
Well, to be fair, the reason we're pushing ourselves, is because today we have scissors crossings in 3-4 miles, and then there is no more water of any kind, I don't think, for 15 miles. So we were hoping to get as close as possible to scissors crossing, to do the climb up out of scissors crossing in as much non-sun as possible, and get as close as possible to the third gate, because it's a long water hole. So we were a little bit worried about that, because I mean yesterday we drank so much water because of the heat, and last time we did this 7 years ago we were all right, but then we don't think it was that hot, so
we think it was overcast. We were just worried about the climb because everyone said it was hot, but it was... I don't think it was that hot.
No, it really wasn't. But it's what it is. Yeah. We are now in April. Last time we started in the 27th of March, so at this time last time we would have been a Big Bear or something, so we wouldn't have noticed the heat. Well, we just have to cope with it and be a bit calmer about the fact that, yeah, we're hiking in a desert in the heat. So much for our nice early start. This is where we slept last night. Somewhere over there is where we're going to sleep tonight. And in between is a lot of walking. It's beautiful at the moment, like temperature-wise, which, given that it is 7:20, is extremely worrying. But it is what it is, as the husband likes to say. I should concentrate on these switchbacks, otherwise I'll be flying to the bottom of the canyon, which I don't want to. On the long, straight, flat run to this junction. It's still a nice temperature now, but the heat will come.
Reminds me of the song.
The heat is on, that's the song. The heat will come.
Mustard down. Sure. Oh, actually, you're lucky. I do have 2 bagels left for cream cheese.
It's been far too long down here. That's it. Scissors crossing. There's the water cache. There's trash. There's trail angels today giving food. That there is Ghost, the famous Ghost. Peak Basha. And there's a shuttle comes every hour apparently to take people to Julian and drop them back off again, so but we're setting off up the hill. So we started the climb at 10:30, a bit later than is probably advisable.
Oh, it's hot.
It's very hot already. We've been going for 10 minutes and we're already this far up from the underpass. I mean, the climb starts straight away. Look at all these cactuses everywhere. This is just such a cute area. We'll be going very slowly because it is brutally hot. Ever so often the breeze kicks in and that's nice, but yeah, this will be a lot of breaks.
Oh, there's a group of them, isn't there?
A bunch of different ones here.
A reddish one there.
And the big spindly ones. And the heavy breathing blue ones.
Yeah, definitely heavy breathing in this thing.
This is so much hotter than it was last time.
Yeah. We breeze last time all the way up.
Yeah, we had a bit of... When the breeze kicks in, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, but
it's all right, but it's not much of a breeze today. From up here you can really appreciate why it's called Scissors Crossing, can't you?
City what? What's it called?
Scissors Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, pro tip. When climbing out of Scissors Crossing, if you want to sit down somewhere to take a rest,
Use your mat.
try not to sit in a cactus. It's a literal and proverbial pain in the butt. Ask me how I know.
How do you know? You just asked me to ask you.
We've already a litre down since we started. I think we've...
flowers there. And some pink ones up
Yeah,
on top.
pretty, isn't it? It feels like we're very high up, but
We're not.
probably only about halfway through the climb. I think, as we just said before, I think today's meals will all be water-free, because we'll need every drop to drink.
Just do that.
Luckily we did top up on wraps in Mount Laguna, so we should be able to do that.
That wind's nice.
Just got up from a far too long break, dozing in a tiny inch of shadow we could find. And that's off to the rest of the climb. And as Brian just said, which you won't have heard over the distance probably, it's nice and windy now, so that's at least something. Brian's got his afternoon legs on. I tend to be a bit faster than him in the mornings, but in the afternoons he's like, woo! I can't tell you how nice it is to just see him walking straight. After these couple of days we've had, the worry we had. And he started to take more weight on again as well. He's carrying all his own water again. He's carrying all the tent. Which by now that his food bag is like down to 2 days worth of food. It's probably heavier than what I'm carrying on his, if you know what I mean. So it's all looking good. Fingers crossed we'll get to Paradise Valley Cafe and get a hitch into Idlewild and get his proper pack.
This is where we are. Hardy's struggling with their knees. Well, that's what happens when you're out. It's my back, my ankles, and Heidi's got bad knees. Knee.
Yeah, just the one.
Just the one. And it tends to come when it's cold.
Well, that's us for the day. Bit earlier pitch than yesterday and the day before and the day before that. I mean, we're just a bit tired now. We wanted to get a bit of a early night, so we're not quite as far as we would like, the usual story, but we're not bad. We're about 6 miles out from the third gate water cache, and we have enough water to drink tonight, so we should get there in a reasonable amount of time, hopefully. Nice little spot. It is still very, very warm. Brian's happy, he's got a bit of internet. Yeah, that's us. We shall actually have dinner in daylight and, you know, do things like take care of our feet and legs and that kind of stuff, while we can see what we're doing. Make for a night change. So this is first week on the trail.
Yeah.
We're at mile 85 point something, so we're not setting the world on fire with our speed, but
No.
oops, losing Brian. But I'm quite happy with the progress we're making, given the difficulties with Brian's pack, and and everything, and yeah, the heat, we've got to get used to the heat. It's just, yeah, we're not good with heat. But yeah, so far everything's going okay. In a fashion.
Yeah.
Speaking of fashion, I don't think we mentioned that the trail angels at the underpass, Peak Basher, she dug out an actual proper bandage for Brian for his knee, which is great because before we've had napkins from Jack in the Box held together by medical tape, which, you know, they did the job, but it wasn't brilliant. So a lot of many thanks to her for doing that, for giving us that. We're hoping to get a couple more of these types of bandages, either in Warner Springs or Idlewild, because yeah, they're kind of necessary. We have a nice early evening. We'll do a little bit of self-care for once,
Yeah.
and sleep properly.
Yeah.
Last night was a slightly interrupted night due to internet issues and you know, the old life catching up with us kind of thing. We didn't get to actual bed until 10 o'clock at night, which is not good when you're hiking. So. But this is good. Views. And how was the first week for you guys? Hot. I like hot.
I don't. I mean, I like you, but, you know, it's very dusty. Very, very dusty.
I'm still just hanging around, you know.
I get to sleep in a tent every night. That's really, really weird when you're, like, a tent.
We're going to do a weekly summary of what we spent, like we did the last time we hiked the PCT. But we're going to do them as separate videos this time, so it makes it easy for people who are just interested in the course. They can just watch that without having to watch us hike for a day. So that's coming up once a week.